Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I am who I am. My name is my name. Welcome into the channel. I am Hunter Sands. Like, subscribe, comment. I got to tell you that because it's YouTube. You know what I mean? I am a Heat fan. The reason, if you go look at my channel, I do not have a reaction to all these games, the Celtics games, is because I was in Texas for almost a week. I'm not going to podcast in a house full of teenage girls. My bad. My Does this make it better? I was going to say my girlfriend's little sisters. I wasn't going to podcast around the La Familia, okay? I just wasn't. So I didn't get those reactions off. And on the way back from Texas, I was watching Game 7 in the car, streaming that bitch, because that's who I am. I'm a real man. I'm a real fan. I'm not rapping. So let's get into this shit, okay? These are just some quick thoughts on the mainstream media and their points, all right? So let's get the vocab words out the way. All right, drop coverage. Yes, I think Bam is going to have a lot of space to work with. I think we are going to be able, I think we're going to see some possessions where Bam is the ball handler, and we're going to see Jimmy in that dunker spot for him to get some easy buckets. I think that dunker spot, watch out for that baseline cut, those easy finishes on the inside, but also watch out for the Nuggets trying to bait you into that pass. Because I broke down some plays on Twitter, and I got no love for it, which is fine. And this guy broke down the same exact plays and said the exact same thing that I did. I'm not saying he copied me. I'm just saying we both did the same shit, went back and looked at the film, looked at this space that Bam had. He tweeted it, 500 likes. Me, zero. Zero likes. So whatever. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of space there. I also thought against the Nuggets the last couple times we played, I'm not judging anything off that, right? We had Jamari Bouye playing, I believe, and they still had Bones Highland on their roster getting big minutes. All right. The one thing we have done, though, is contain Jamal Murray, right? But let me stay on topic. God damn it, my ADHD. I think that the drop coverage is something. I think that it was something in the Bucks series, and that's why we hit so many threes. That's how we got off to that hot shooting start. And I think Tyler Hero, when or if he comes back, can eat that up. I think guys like Gabe Vincent, who we just saw, his pick and roll shooting splits were astronomical. They were crazy. He's been shooting the ball well off the pick. I know Kyle Lowry is old. I think we can get a couple Kyle Lowry games in there with his off the dribble, off the screen setup elbow three. I really do. And I think that sets up Jimmy for a lot of mid-range jumpers if they guard him specifically like that. Their pick and roll coverage for 22 could be a whole different game, right? So that's a vocab word. Rest versus rust. Let's get that out the way. This doesn't matter to me. All right. How many games did Jokic take off before the playoffs? I think it was 8 in a row, 10 in a row, something like that, where he just gave up the MVP. Did he look rusty in that series? Did those role players look rusty? I don't think so. I think you look healthy. I think you look well rested and you got fresh legs. Yeah, your jumper might be off for a quarter. Maybe. That's it. And with the Heat, I think the persona of us being able to, why do I say us? I am a fan. But still, the persona of us being able to get through it, right? It doesn't matter. It's the Heat, man. It's the Heat. I think we lose that they are humans. I think we lose that in our minds. We lose that they are human beings and that they will get tired, right? I do. But I don't think it's something to go back to because it only relates to game one. It only relates to game one. And that's why it's a dumb talking point, right? Nobody's going to be talking about rest versus rust in game fucking 5. And if you're one of those people who go, the Heat are tired, that's why they lost, you don't need to be around me or comment on sports in general. They got 3 days rest between every fucking game, basically. If they're tired, I don't know how. The elevation, bro? Sure, man. Sure. Another point, man. This whole, hey, Jokic versus zone. All right. These are the 3 key media points. Rest versus rush, drop coverage, and Jokic versus the zone. We got Eric Spoelstra, man. I think he's going to throw everything he has at Jokic. All right. But one thing we have to remember, we're not stopping Joker. We're not stopping Jokic. It's not happening. What's bad about that? One dude on the team, on the Nuggets, might go for 30 every night, and it may seem like we are hopeless when he's on the floor. A bad thing for us as well. If Bam gets in foul trouble, we have nowhere else to go. Nowhere. I don't want the Zeller minutes. I don't want the Kevin Love minutes. And this may be a series where Bam is playing 43 to 48 minutes every single night. Do I think Spo would do that to him? No, but in the finals, you're putting it all out there. This is not about saving anything. You're giving every inch, every breath, everything you have left into this series, or you would hope. I know my team is. I know the Heat are not going to leave any stone unturned out there. And that's what Bam's going to have to do. He's going to have to guard him. We may see some man. We may see a box and one on Jokic, bro. We may see a box and one on Nikola Jokic with Bam just guarding him. The last time we played him, right, I'm not judging off the result. Once again, I'm going off how we played him. Bam was fronting him very well. He played great defense on Jokic. I also think in the past, in the last, I believe, 5 years, Jamal Murray has 2 20-point games on us. 2. And yes, he did miss that 2-year gap with the ACL, but I'm just speaking from what we saw. Right? In 2018-19, Jamal Murray was a player. He was. So it's not irrelevant data to bring up. The last time we played Jokic, he put up like a 27-point triple-double shooting 85%. But those 2 games were close this year. Once again, you're not going to stop him. You can make it tough on him. You can try to make him have an inefficient night. Inefficient for Jokic is, 50% shooting? So that's as inefficient as he's going to be. I'm worried about the pick-and-roll actions with Jamal Murray. I'm worried about Aaron Gordon, who just came alive at the last 2 games of that Lakers series, just balling out in that dunker spot if we run that zone. That's my point. And the zone has done great things for us. And the Celtics had a hard time with it because they don't have smart basketball players. They don't. And they try to get the game back in one possession. And those little things that we see with the Celtics, those mental mistakes, all that talent for no reason, we will not see in the Nuggets. We're not going to see a lot of turnovers. And if we force them, great. I feel like we're not going to see a lot of turnovers, dumb plays, horrible mistakes like we saw with the Celtics. Bad shots, all that. I think that gets eliminated because when your best player gets the ball and stands at the elbow the whole possession, and he is a basketball wizard and he can do everything, he's too consistent for them not to be consistent. We got to muck it up. We got to slow it down. Make it a grind game. And that's what we do, and that's always the strategy. That's what everybody says in the national media too, right? The Heat have to do this and do that. So I think there's a lot of ways that we can attack them on offense, though. We can talk about how unstoppable Nikola Jokic is. I'm worried about you guarding KCP, Bruce Brown going off, Jamal Murray. I'm worried about that because he is definite. He is undeniable. He's gonna ball. All right? There is no stopping him. But we got some guys too. Who is Bruce Brown going to guard? Gabe Vincent? Cool. Who is Jamal Murray going to guard? Who? Max Strus? We'll have a little Jamal Murray run around the perimeter session. I'm with that. I want to see how they match it up. I want to know who's guarding Jimmy. Bruce Brown could be on Jimmy too, and that's Jimmy in the post. Maybe they want to bait him into getting into the post so he has to get doubled and kick it out. Maybe so. But those are just some talking points I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I'm not going to pick against my own team in this series. I got the Heat in 6. Actually, Heat in 7. I'll say Heat in 7. No, 7's too risky. I'll go 6. Fuck it. Heat in 6, but there's a lot more elements of this than the national media is talking about. So those are just my quick thoughts. And then after game 1, we'll see how these develop and kind of turn into something. Another key point that I wanted to get into just on my perspective, the way that we're keeping people out of transition, 1, by not turning the ball over, and 2, just not having a lot of long misses. I think that's going to be huge in this series. I think in the Lakers series, you saw a lot of run and gun. You really did. It was a run and gun series, and the shot making in that series was crazy, mostly by Jokic and Jamal Murray. And if they're hitting those shots, they're great players. They're going to hit some. We're going to hit some of those shots. I think this series is going to be way closer than people are thinking, man. They're picking the Nuggets in 5 and 4. I think that's stupidity. So we'll have to see. Limit transition. These are my 4 points. Limit transition. Bam. So here are my couple things that I am looking at hard in this series, or in game 1 at least. Jamal Murray and Jokic pick and roll action specifically. Specifically those two. How do we defend it? Can we even have any resistance towards that? Number 2, can this historic shooting by the Heat keep up? I don't know, but I'm not going to say no because it has. Yes, we didn't shoot well against the shitty Knicks. Who cares? Could have been shooting with our left hands. We probably would have beat them. I don't know if it can, but you don't need it every game. You need it for 4. I think that's what people don't understand. We have all these ups and downs in a series and all these takes and, we're coming out with these hot-ass opinions. You got to win 4. You don't have to win all 7. You're not winning 7 games. You're winning 4. You need 4 good games. You need 4 wins. That's all you need. You don't need to play great every game. You need to play great 4 games. And that's all. Number 3, how do we limit the transition points? Because that's going to be very important. You can't give Denver all the open looks. Mostly when they get going in the half court, they just start barraging. But you saw some things in that Lakers series that shows you that you can resist. You can have some resistance on them. But you have to make them pay at the other end, which is number 4. I would love to see Bam ball the fuck out this series. You're going to see it. And it's either going to be really great or really bad to me. Because Bam has to go in there. And guys, he has so much space to work with. Go look at my Twitter page. He has so much space. I mean, he's getting 5 to 6 feet of space right next to the rim. About 5 to 6 feet out. Jokic is under the rim, not even contesting shit, man. If anybody comes and contests, it's the weak side help, who's a small guy like a Michael Porter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, sliding in and just putting their hands up. He's got to make those shots. He has to. Bam has to be great this series. Not good, not Has to be great. So those are the things I'm looking at in game 1. I'll be back after the game, see how I'm feeling, how it went. I'm going to be recording reactions to all these games, so if it's entertaining, I'll post it. If it's not, I won't. So I will see y'all after game 1 of the finals. I'm out, bitches. Deuce.